What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, y'all. I was just channeling some stuff, so I was like, let me write this down before I lose it. I ain't got no music for y'all. I got a smile. Hey, y'all. Hey. What's up? We got macaroni and cheese. Sandra, Malik, Tanya, Dexter, Beanie, Malia, Thomas. Your last name could be Pritchett. And I got Alexis coming out here. Something about the age 43, 38, 22. And something about 2001 is significant here for you, okay? We got 1977 coming out in 1981. I don't know if you were born in this year or something like that, but there's definitely something significant about macaroni and cheese. I don't know if you're making some. You could be making some homemade macaroni and cheese. Someone could have just made some for you or something like that. Send me some, okay? Something about that. I don't know. I just picked that up, but I don't know. We got Sandra, Tanya, Beanie, Thomas, Malik, Dexter, Malia, Pritchett, and Alexis. Something about red candy here. I don't know who's eating candy here. You could be in your childlike energy eating some kind of candy that's red or something like that. I was picking up something sweet and red. I don't know. Maybe you could be sweet and red. Okay, I don't know. Something like that. Okay, that's what I got here for you. I'm here with a quick message. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you, okay? If you are here for a reason. There's a message here for you. We come through with very brief messages. We don't try to hold you too long, but we come through with a little bit of wisdom and a little bit of knowledge. So if you have a little bit of time, stick around. I might have something for you here. We got the number 606 coming out. This could be very significant. It could be your area code. Okay, something about 606, optimism. You could be needing to be very optimistic right now, okay? Maybe you are feeling pessimistic, right? Maybe you feel like, you know, I don't know, things are just, I don't know, I can't see, you know, I can't see, Lord. I'm hearing someone like, I just can't see my way out of something. And, you know, sometimes things are beyond our eyes, right? You know, it's beyond our sight. We have to really tap in to our ajna, our third eye chakra, you know, being able to see behind the veil, right? Being able to know that everything is okay. Just be optimistic here. It says love, okay? Now, I don't know. Your name could be Love, okay? Okay, I don't know. Something about that. But we got peace, hope, and optimism. Transferring responsibility to others, progress, and creativity. Okay, so you could be needing to delegate some tasks, and I was talking about this I believe a few days ago in regards to our children, right? A lot of times we get burnt out because we need to delegate tasks but we refuse to, so we get angry because the chores in the house are not done, but we don't delegate any of the tasks. So you could be needing to do this, you know. You could be needing to teach your children to clean up how you want to clean, how you want it clean. You know how sometimes we'll be like, well, I don't want my child to do it because they don't clean up like me. Well, they need to know how to clean up like you so that you can have some of that stress off of you as well, right? They should be able to clean up their room, you know, and, you know, their bathroom at least, right? Maybe someone needs to work on this. Maybe you're just overworking yourself here in the department with your children. It says creativity. So I don't know. I feel like you're very creative right now. Someone has a dope outfit. I don't know if you are into fashion or you're just fashionable. Okay. But someone, I don't know. You just, it's like you're very, you know, the outfits you put together are very fashionable. Okay. I'm seeing someone tens across the board, honey. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. It says pursue your goals and get what you want. Okay, see, you know, when you pursue your goals, you get what you want, and that's the truth. Because when you know when you are you know, pursuing your goals, it makes your goals attracted to you. You know, you're doing things to make your goals become attracted to you. And so you start manifesting these things and they start appearing in your life. And that's what's happening here. Pursue your goals and get what you want. It will provide you wonderful benefits for you and the people you hold dear. So not only is blessings coming in for you, we manifest and do less stressing. We pray to God we get his blessings, but it's like not just you. This is for generations to come. See, someone here is a generational curse breaker. So the things that you do, not only do they benefit you, but they benefit your bloodline. Something about that is here. Your ability to communicate is improving at this time, which will make things easier for you to interact with a broad spectrum of individuals. I'm hearing a level up. Okay, it's something like that. You know, you could be really leveling up here. Okay, you know, you could be finding yourself sitting in places with people that, you know, maybe you thought one time you weren't good enough to be at these tables, but God says you are supposed to be at these tables, right? You're supposed to be right there, a part of the blueprint is what I'm hearing. Okay, something about that. Maybe you felt like, you know, an outcast, but you know, you're in. Okay, something about that, you know. I don't know. You could be finding people just wanting to be more close to you. Your energy is more attractive. You could be attracting more people, more like-minded people. Okay, this is good for you. Be optimistic. Okay, don't be so pessimistic. Everybody is not out to get you. We live in faith, not fear, right? Something about that. Let's go. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like there's just a variety of people, you know, people that I feel like right now you're going to be connecting with people that you just would not expect, like people that may not look like you, people that come from different cultural backgrounds, different ethnic backgrounds, whatever it is. You know, I see collaborations with people, right? Why? Because you have the same like mindset, okay, about a oneness or something like that. Yeah, judgment is here. Okay. Now we got judgment coming out for you, and it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges, and that makes so much sense, right? Remember I said that you're meeting different individuals. It's because you are more open-minded to understand that everyone has their own challenges, right? You know what I'm saying? However, you know, we all have some things in common, and I feel like you are in the energy of finding, you know, the common denominator in your relationship. Not, you know, I feel like you are finding people that you guys have that same common denominator: love, authenticity, you know, growth, helping humanity, you know, that kind of energy. Okay, you know, judgment is like when you come to a realization of something, you know, you have some kind of self-awareness, some kind of aha moment, some kind of something is here. Okay. You know, imagine, you know, being in the energy of, you know, being envious of someone else's life or something like that. But you don't know the struggles that come with that life, right? So I'm so glad that whoever you are, you got over this, because I feel like at one time you were that person, right? Maybe when you looked at things, you couldn't understand why, you know, why not me? It wasn't that maybe you were even jealous. It was just like, well, Lord, look, why, you know what I'm saying? Why can't I get where I feel like I should be? But I feel like you don't really look at things like that right now. I feel like you know what's up. Let's see. This sun is beaming and I love it, okay? I like heat, hot water, sun. I'm a fire sign, baby. I don't know. It feels good to me. Some people think I'm crazy, okay, because I like to sit in the sun. But we got the 8 of Swords here, okay? I don't know. You know, I feel like, you know, when you're leveling up, there's always the energy of nervousness, okay? We're human. It's human nature, right? I would not be human if I didn't tell you that, you know, I don't feel nervous in my level up. Of course I do. But I also have faith, so I have to allow my faith to, you know, take a hold of my fears, my anxieties, my worries. You know, I have to really allow my faith to do that so that I don't feel this energy, because the energy arises. We're human, right? You know, when God has a big task for me or a big task for you, you probably feel the same way. Like, you know, it's an overwhelming energy. However, I know that, you know, in this day and age where I am in my positioning, I know that, you know, this energy right here is always going to be there. But my faith, you know, my faith is greater than me being nervous, than me being scared of anything. You know, my faith actually gets me further here. So something about that, okay? You could be feeling some kind of energy over here to the side with these swords, okay? Feeling trapped within yourself or something like that. I don't know. But let's see. What's this? Yeah, the Page of Wands is here, okay? Now, I don't know if you're a Sagittarius, okay, fire sign or whatever, but there's something about you, you know, being adventurous here. I feel like right now is a very good time to be adventurous. Remember, optimism came out in the beginning, 606, being optimistic, okay? You should be free right now. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like every time you get, I don't know. I feel like every time you should be feeling free, there's something that comes and wants to make you feel like trapped or something like that. But you're not trapped. Like, you really need to understand these are energies that come, and, you know, it's just like emotions. You know, it's energy in motion. It comes and it goes. We don't let the shit stay there is what I'm saying, right? So it's something about really needing to know that right now is a time for you to be adventurous. It's a time for you to explore. It's a time for you to be in your childlike energy. You know, it's a time for you to be happy. It's a time for you to just feel free here, because something wants you trapped. I'm just saying. Your own emotions, your own perspective, whatever it is, there's something that, you know, doesn't really want you to feel this good energy, you know? You know, it's almost like misery loves company. You know how someone, you know, when a miserable person is like, you know, they're miserable. So because they're miserable, they want you to be miserable. It's like that kind of energy. So you have to learn how to separate yourself from these feelings, even when it's yourself. Okay, something like that. Let's see. You know, because sometimes our own, you know, our subconscious mind is one of the most, I would say our subconscious mind is what blocks us the most. I'll say that, you know. We hold things in our subconscious that we think we can't do, we're not capable of. You know, we hold these things that we project out the energy of confidence. We project, because we love to project. We're humans, right? So we project out confidence, but subconsciously, we don't really believe the things that we're projecting. And so what happens is, you know, it shows up here. The fear, the anxiety, it needs to be let go. You need to really be free. Okay, something about that. You could be holding yourself hostage, right, to a situation that you've already been forgiven for or something like that. Okay, a decision that you've already made. You may need to let something go. Something about envy is here. I told you, envy is an evil. And look, freedom. I told you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Envy and freedom is showing up. I just was talking about these two energies here. Envy. I am the same as everybody else, but with different challenges. Now, this is coming out a lot here. So, I don't know if something is trying to keep you, I don't know if your own way of thinking is trying to keep you trapped. Okay, I don't know if you're looking at a situation incorrectly. You could be looking at people's lives and feeling like, why not me? And I'm telling you, that is not the energy that you need to be in, because envy, we imagine envy in someone's lives, and you don't know the challenges they had to go through to get what they have. You don't know if they had to do something with blood. You don't know if they had to lie, to steal, to cheat. You don't know how it was given to them, but to be envious. Now, imagine you are envious of a person's life, and you know, you ask for the things they have, and I want their life, right? You're destiny swapping, not even knowing that you're doing this, because a lot of times people destiny swap and they don't even know. It's because they're so envious, so jealous of a lifestyle that they see, they don't realize they're actually trying to destiny swap. However, imagine it being envious and jealous of a person's life not really knowing the behind the scenes. So you're envious of somebody's life, and you know, you're praying, God, why not me? Why not me? Right? So now you say, nah, why not me? And God's like, okay, well, you wanted to. So now you have to deal with the sickness they have. You have to deal with, you know, the not being able to sleep they may have. That you may have to deal with all kinds of different things that they have going on, but all you can see is material, right? Well, I don't know. We got to get on to that mindset because freedom is here. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness, right? You know, a lot of times we can look at another person's life and feel like if we had it, it would make us happy. But I feel like, honestly, it's due to our lack of really knowing what truly makes us happy anyway. We look at people, you know, because society sets standards for what is happiness in some people's lives. I mean, I'm just being honest. Let's be truthful. You know, some people look at society and be like, oh, okay, if my life looks like this, this is what happiness is, not knowing that, you know, you create your own happiness, and happiness is something different for all of us. Okay. Six of Cups is here. I don't know, nostalgic kind of energy. Okay, there could be something from the past coming up here. Someone's dog could have transitioned. My condolences. Poor thing. Okay. We got 101 showing up, and it says new beginnings. New beginnings, personal development, prioritizing creativity, new phase in religious or spiritual quests. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. So this is the energy. I just said a spiritual awakening, right? You know, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, the shit is not pretty. It's not glitz and glam. It's not gold. It doesn't feel good. A lot of times it's so uncomfortable because you have to be addressed with your truth. It's so uncomfortable because, you know, there are so many people who will not understand you. It's so uncomfortable because, you know, people try to put you in a box that you'll never fit in. So something about that here, okay? You're going through some kind of enlightenment, okay? Things could look rough, but this too shall pass. Weapons form, but they never prosper. Okay? That's true. You know? You know how many things come up against you? You know? The weapons form, but they never prosper. Things come up, but you're protected. So half of the things you don't even see. You know? And I feel like you're focused on self-development, growth. You know? It's allowing you new beginnings here. So stay focused, okay? I don't know if there's a new passion you can have. You could be needing to pick up a new hobby here. Okay? You could be having some kind of one-on-one training, or you could be needing some kind of one-on training or coaching or something. I see one-on-one. There could be someone needing a one-on-one, a personal session with someone. Okay, I don't know if you're going to therapy and doing one-on-one sessions, something like that. I don't know. The Empress here, so yeah, fire energy, Aries. Okay. It's important for you because you are a leader. Okay. You could be really contemplating on something. There could be a decision that you need to make, and maybe you're really contemplating. I don't know. You could have a tattoo of an Ankh on your arm as well. This could be on your left arm. The Ankh. I don't know. I feel like so, you could be feeling like, you know, tangled, trapped, or something like that, but you're free. Someone could be going through like body dysmorphia. Okay, you look good. Be proud of yourself and your, you know, your accomplishments. What is perfect anyway? Okay. I just heard Avant. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you, boy. I don't care what the others say. Now that I got you, babe. Something about that. Kiki Wyatt and Avant could be significant here. That song could be significant about something. This could be a song that you played with someone or something like that. I don't know. Someone's trying to get a message through here. Someone's trying to sneak a message into you. Okay? Let's see. We got indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. I don't know. Remember I said somebody's contemplating on something. There's some kind of indecision. Someone needs to make a decision. Someone needs to stand on business, Aries. I'm going to say Aries. Okay, Emperor. Okay, you are a decision. You are the leader. Like, if you don't make a decision, who's going to make it? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know, you could be really lax, chill on a decision that needs to be made. But it's like, if the boss doesn't make the decision, how is the work going to get done? How are things going to operate if you don't make that next move here? Because you could be sitting down when you need to get up and move here, Aries. You could have on a red button-up shirt, a red uniform shirt or something like that. Red is significant here. Red candy. Red hair. Something about red is in the energy. Okay. We got the Knight of Wands coming out. Okay. Yeah. Heavy on the fire energy. Heavy on the childlike energy. Someone could be calling you childish because you're just having fun in life. You don't give a damn about nothing. Okay? There's someone and like you are just so carefree. There could be people that are irritated with your spirit, you know? Your light could be literally irritating the demons here because I see someone that is so carefree, so childlike. Like I see a person that, you know, people could literally call you immature and they wish that they could have half of the energy that you have, to be honest with you. Okay? Something about that. There's someone here and you never let anyone rob you of your childhood. And I'm proud of you because, you know, people always want to rob you of your childhood. They want to say because you become an adult, you can't do this. You can't do that. Well, who says that, right? Right? A person that, why? Because maybe they don't feel as young as you. You know, they don't look as young as you. I don't know. Whatever it is. Stay in this energy here. This energy keeps you youthful. Okay? Benjamin Button, I don't know if you're aging backwards. You could be looking really good for your age. Okay? You could love when people guess your age because you look way younger than you actually are, but you're very mature or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Seven of Swords is here. There's a sneaky energy. I told you. It just wanted to reveal itself. There's an energy here that is so snakish, okay? You know, I remember, you know, when Adam and Eve were in the Bible and God was saying that, you know, the snake and the woman would never get along. You know, the woman would always bop the snake on the head and the snake would always bite, you know, the children. The children would bop the children and the women will bop the snake on the head, and then in turn, you know, the reptile will bite us, right? And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a snake here. I'm seeing something grimy, something greasy. I'm seeing an energy that wants to do something, but they don't want to be revealed. Look at this person with a hood on, okay? This is a coward here. This is a person that wants to do something, but they don't want to be caught. They want to be sneaky. They don't want to be seen. And they want to sneak, you know, they want to sneak into your energy, okay? Now, this is sword, so I don't know. This could be someone literally trying to attack someone. Now, I ain't trying to make anybody afraid, but, you know, we know the world is full of crazy people and envious people, and we do have envy out here with the Seven of Swords. So I'm just telling someone, you know, you never be scared, but you always pay attention to your surroundings. You know, pay attention to the people who are saying that they love you? Are their actions reciprocating the love that they say, right? Are they doing things to make your life easier, to help you, to love you, okay, to help you grow, things like that? Or are they doing things to cause hurt and harm? Because there's a snake in the grass here somewhere, okay, that doesn't want to be revealed. That's crazy. You know, something about that. I'm being, you know, that's just an energy that's here, okay? This is an energy that likes to steal a little bit at a time too, and they love to project themselves as light and love. They love to act like they're light and love, but this is a snake in disguise, okay? This could be I heard Skinwalker, Archangel Michael, okay? This is something that might not even be human that you're dealing with, and I'm for real. Like, you know, this is something dark here. Whatever. Okay? You're protected. That's why it's important for you to make a decision about something. I see that you could be even contemplating on what someone's doing in the background. You could already have a knowledge, an awareness of this energy over here. Okay? And maybe you're contemplating on something. It's time for you to go ahead and make that decision. What you gonna do about this? Like, this needs to be taken care of. Okay? Like, are you gonna pray about it? Seven of Pentacles. This is something that, you know, your long-term future is dependent upon this. This is something, action. Are you going to pray? Are you going to cry? Are you going to fight it out? Like, what are you going to do here? There's something over here, and, you know, make your next move your best move, something like that, okay? It's like, what are you going to do next? Are you going to fold, right? Are you going to rise above, okay? Are you going to believe that, you know, this is it? Okay, are you going to push forward? Something like that. Let's see. Optimism, remember? New beginnings. It could be even, you know, new beginnings. There's a need to take, like, a different approach at something. Okay, someone, it's like you tried the same thing several times, but you have not tried it a different way. Maybe that's not why it's not working. Okay, maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe it's the way you're doing something that is not really resonating, right? Maybe you just need to change something. That doesn't mean that it won't work. People give up so easily, right? Are you gonna fold, or are you gonna keep pushing, right? We got 5. We got 1, 5, 5, 1. You know, this is one of my favorite numbers, 15, 15. Both of my kids were born on the 15th day of the month. In different months, but, you know, they were both born on the 15th, so that's like one of my favorite numbers. It really resonates with me. And we got forward thinking coming out for you, okay? So you could just be like really advanced in your mind. You know, I'm seeing someone now. I told you, you could look younger than you are, but your mind is a lot wiser than you are. So I feel like people play on your top a lot because you look young, but you're wise as hell. You know, it's like one of those kind of energies where people, you know, maybe take you for granted in the beginning because they don't understand who you're working with. Something like that. Okay? Forward thinking is here. Longing, technology, ambition, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. I believe that, you know. I just said somebody's like aging better with time, fine as wine, something like that. There are plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, open up, and go outside, okay? So, I don't know, like, maybe you're going through something. You know how maybe because you're going through another ascension, maybe you are finding out whoever this person is, this energy is that wants to sneak, scheme, rob, from you're figuring out, like I said, while you're over here contemplating, okay, you could be really figuring out who this is, and maybe, you know, it hurts, right? Because it hurts when we find out people that are supposed to love us, people that are supposed to protect us, you know. It hurts when they do things. So maybe it's one of those times, and maybe you could be feeling a little bit down, right? You could be feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, I already let go 15 people, Lord. I gotta let these people go too. I gotta let this thing go too, right? So maybe you could be feeling like that and needing to just be open to whatever it is that's changing in your life, because obviously things are changing for a reason. Change doesn't just happen for no reason. Change happens because we literally need the change, even when we don't understand it at the time. A lot of times we can't comprehend that we need that change. But if you look at your life, when things have been drastically changed, when God has moved things around in your life, you'll notice that life improved for you, right? It may have been hard at that particular time, but that change, that challenge, that lesson, that life lesson, it actually helped you grow, right? Something about that. Okay. We got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It's a lot of fire. And then the Two of Wands in the reverse, yeah, because someone won't make a decision. You got the King and Queen of Wands out here. I'm lying. You ain't got the King. You do got the King. No, you got the Emperor. That's Aries energy. But it's a lot of fire out here. Okay? I feel like if you're sitting down, you need to get up. There could be someone, you could just need a few more steps, you know. Maybe your mind feels stressed out. Maybe you need to do some more mindful, you know, more practices of mindfulness. Okay? It could be very stressful working, right? And if you never can, if you never nurture your mind, right, you could become overwhelmed, right? Think about if you work at a job and you have to deal with customers. We know how that goes, right? You know, we have some people that are just unfortunately rude, you know. Imagine, you know, you got some people around here that walk around and they're demonic, but they are still customers, right? And people still have to serve them. So if you go throughout the day and you're dealing with all these different spirits, right, all these different people, it can become overwhelming. That's why it's so important to practice on your own mindfulness. Okay, your job is not going to be like, oh, hey, you know, make sure you take care of your mental health, right? They may tell you some days, but I mean, who's going to tell you every day? You have to be willing to tell yourself every day, I choose my mental health first over all of this, because there's something about that here. Needing to get up, needing to maybe get some sun, maybe needing to get some extra steps, maybe to get some movement in, something like that. I don't know, something's trying to creep up on someone, but you better be thinking forward here. Okay, it's like you gotta be one step ahead of your mind, because your mind is constantly going someone. Okay, someone's mind is just like, golly, give it a break, slow down. Okay, you could be needing some mindfulness. You have Four of Wands is here, stability. Okay. This could be a get together. This could be, you know, someone could be celebrating their anniversary. Someone could be celebrating their honeymoon. This could just be a time where things just feel like the honeymoon phase, where things are just, you know, it's new, it's fresh, so it feels good, but is it gonna last kind of shit, you know, type thing, right? Is this really gonna last, whatever it is type thing is what I'm hearing. Because like you're in the initial phase of some kind of happiness, some kind of things coming together, and somebody's like, well, what about the long term? Okay, it's good. King of Cups is here to the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Now I don't know, with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Cups, Seven of Wands in the reverse. Well, I like the Seven of Wands in the reverse because you're learning that you don't have to be so defensive, but there's still something not balanced. I don't know, like, you know, I'm really starting to realize there's so many people in the world that have been scarred so bad. They really resent people. And I hate that for the world, you know. I pray that, you know, if you are a person that has been hurt so bad, that you can let go of resentment for people, because it is so damaging to who you are and your own growth, that I just pray that you are able to let that go. If you are a person holding on to any kind of resentment to a person, to a particular sex, you know, to a particular race, whatever it is, I pray that you are free from this, because, you know, and I believe you will be, because the Ten of Wands is in the reverse. You know, you don't have to carry all of the burdens on your own. And I feel like you're learning this. I feel like you're learning that, you know, you don't have to resent an entire group of people because of one person who did you wrong. You know, there are good people in the world, men and women, and there's some cruddy ass men and some cruddy ass women out here too. Like, you know, unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. There's good and there's bad. You just have to choose your side. And, you know, if you stay on your side long enough, you know, If you stay on your side 100% of the time, you're gonna run into people on your side, you know, because like attracts like. So don't give up because you've been hurt, you know, by people, and think that an entire group of people are just trash, or just they're not worthy to be loved, they're not worthy to be whatever. You know, the world is so messed up. Just be optimistic is what I'm saying. Okay, I really pray that you can remain optimistic and receive love however it comes in for you, whether it be through your friends, your animal, your lover, your children, whatever it is. I just pray, you know, because the devil is here in the reverse, and I like this. Okay, that means that someone, for me, I feel like, you know, you're able to look at some of the addictions and obsessions that you have and kind of part ways with them. And that shit is hard, you know. Imagine having some of the same addictions for 20, 30 years, you know what I'm saying, 15 years. Some of the same bad habits, you know, for 20 years. Because a lot of us, think about it, we have decided to go and clean up 20, 30, 15, 12 years worth of trauma, pain, you know, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, and clean these things up. That's hard, you know. So of course some days it's gonna feel like, damn, I'm a little depressed because, you know, I feel like, I don't know, I still don't know. But we're never gonna know. Just keep going. It's all right. You're gonna have a feeling, you shake it off, and you be like, you know what, just forward thinking, because I know, you know, I know that my thinking is on a higher level, because there's a higher purpose for me, a higher calling, and it will all work out for the great, for your greatest purpose, right? Something like that. I don't know. You know, it could be, it could be a struggle trying, you know, what about the strong friend, you know, that everybody calls on, you know, that everybody dumps their problems on, like, you know, that's why you have to check your own mental, your own mind, and make sure that you're okay. Because if you're that strong one, sometimes people they ain't checking on you, and it's not their fault that they're not checking on you. You have became such a doormat. You have made yourself so available for people to come and drop their problems, their energy, you know, onto you, that they just do it. It's not even that they, you know, mean to do it all the time, but, you know, that's what it is. Okay, we got 2112 coming out for you, and it says new beginnings again. Okay, hope, new beginnings, fresh start, lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. Remember, we had new beginnings over here with 101. So 2112. I don't know if this is the last 4 digits of someone's phone number. 2112. 211. I don't know. Someone could be needing help. 211 could be a resource for you. 211 is a local resource in every state that it allows you to connect with different resources if you're going through something. I don't know if there's someone going through maybe like homelessness. Maybe you could be needing assistance with like a light bill or something, but 211 could be significant for you. Okay? And it says this is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. Remember, I said action. I see someone sitting here when action really needs to be taken. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. So, I don't know, rushing. There's no need to rush. I talked about that the other day. There's a new beginning here. You have to truly believe that you are living in your purpose. Thank you, baby. Right? But it's something like that. Imagine being patient, because it's really a virtue. Right? And you truly reaping the rewards of everything that you've been doing. That's what's going to happen. It's the promise. So don't think anything that you're doing is going in vain. It's not, you know. Everything that you do is accounted for. I'm talking about even the little small pieces of trash I see you picking up off the ground. You know, there's someone, and you know, you've been going around with your little stick picking up the trash out the community, right, as a part of your ministry. Not that you go around and tell everybody, but I'm seeing someone with one of those long sticks, and you go around with a trash bag and you pick up things out of the community. Why? Because you like to see your community look good, right? Because you know, if the community looks good, people will treat it better, right? And you know, if you pick up trash, by you being a leader, then others will not, maybe not want to drop trash. Maybe they won't pick it up, but maybe less people will drop trash on the ground. This is the leadership that I'm talking about. These are the skills that you possess. These are the things that you're out here doing. Small things like this are being noticed. Okay? So the pressures of the world could seem very, very intense because you are, you know, you're being watched very closely. Your every move is what I'm hearing. Okay? There's nothing that you do that you're not being watched. So always know that you are being watched, right? Why? Because you're in a position of leadership, whether you want to or not. You know, that's who you are. It's a part of your divine purpose. Leadership. Okay? Now, I'm talking to a strong individual. This message ain't going to resonate with everybody now. Okay? But if you know, you know. Right? Because there's someone, and you know I'm talking directly to the spirit. Because they say try the spirit by the spirit. So I'm trying the spirit. Right? Let's see. Okay? Courage. I told you someone's courageous here. Right? I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay? We talked about this. You know, this is the message. I guess that's the message. You know? I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. That means that even though I know, dang, it seems like every 5 days a challenge comes, right? But I find the inner strength, and even though these challenges come, I face it. Okay? So it's something about that, with confidence. So go throughout your day with confidence. I love you guys so much. That was your quick little message, and I'll catch you guys next time.